Big up, big up, big up, and welcome to the Liverpool 12th Man Show. I am the Liverpool 12th Man, and I'm joined by the Irishman, and we should be certainly joined by Scouts Lee, but I think he might be still doing his homework, so he is a little late to the party, but it's okay. It's okay to be tardy to the party. Big up, Gary Richards. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Tally ho, tally ho. Reverend Knight, good to see you as well, guys. This one's going to be a fun one today. I'm sure a lot of people will love to put their own personal ratings in. Oh, you know what, too? Got to get that. Also, we might have I told Pops about it. I don't know if he got my link or not. Been having little issues and problems here and there, trying to make sure that I get my links appropriately to the people that they need to be to. But maybe we get blessed by Pops joining us as well from Bayesian Reds. But all the same, we are definitely privileged to have the Irishman here with us today. How you doing, Irishman?
Very well, very well. Football starts again. It might be Man United, but it's back. It's officially
Yeah,
started
yeah,
now. The
yeah, exactly.
first team sheets are out, so it's officially done.
Yeah,
Here we go. Here we go
yeah.
again.
The 75-minute thing is official and on, right? Officially on. Um, yeah, it should be interesting too because uh, I wanted to definitely get a start on today, but I also wanted to make sure that we could maybe we'll have the game on in the background just to see who is like prevailing in that matchup. It is a big game for Manchester United because it's their home opener, and also because it's a case where it's an opportunity to see Manchester United lose. That's nothing better than that. So so yeah, we have Bruno playing the false nine. Yeah, big up, big up, big up, Philip. By the way, big up, Philip. Good to see you too, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, so bunch of stuff that's going on. I know we kind of spoke on the whole Zubamendi thing yesterday. Seems like it just doesn't want to die. All the rumors and the likes. But one of the other rumors that has arisen from the Real Sociedad confides is that something that I'm very, very optimistic about, something I would like to see happen. I'm not necessarily, I mean, there's a lot of things I would like to see happen, with the club. But I mean, I'm just putting it out in the universe and hoping for the best. Big up to Bernie, by the way. Big up, Bernie. Um, so one of those things is that we are apparently revisiting the option of bringing in Kubo. Kubo has been it's been reported in the Spain in a Spain publication. I can't think of the publication on top of my head right now, but I'll look it up for you if you need that. But the Spain publication has said that we are investigating if we can make an offer that will get Kubo into our riches. I think that that's a more possible one because the ties don't really, hold deep the way that it does for a Basque region boy. But again, I would love to see Kubo come to the team. I would love to see him be possibly the heir apparent, to this right wing position that will eventually become vacant once Salah does decide to leave the team or retire or whatever he decides to do. And I also like it because it brings us options. It brings us some just some more depth in that region. I'm cool with having possibly Diaz play on the right wing. I know Brian and I have discussed that a couple of times, but um, I also am also cool to see Ben Doak and Kai Gordon develop and become even a viable option in that right wing too. But considering those aren't exactly the prime choices that we would like to have as options, I would love to see Kubo possibly be one of those options on this team. And he does have a release clause. We could go that route. We could also just offer him a deal. I don't know what it's going to take for us to get that deal across the line. apparently we're investigating those kinds of things. So you know, it's just something. It's just something to talk about. I think. How do you feel about that? I'm curious. Are you, is this
Well, he's the one that.
is
Yeah, no, I hear.
what
I know that. I know what you're saying.
bitten twice?
Yeah,
No. I was gonna say once bitten, twice shy. Isn't that the?
Yeah, the same guy.
Isn't that the song?
That's the phrase. Yeah. Look, it's a different player. I know it's awkward. It's going to be a bit awkward, but you're going to have that stuff in football. Right? If you never did business with a club after one transfer, then you'd kind of be in a bit of a bind. Is he? Like as I said, that I wanted three things.
Right.
I wanted a centre half, I wanted a DM, and I wanted a right-sided forward that can score goals. That's more of a goal-scoring forward than a winger type of thing. And if he's that kind of guy, I don't look not proven in the Premier League, so we don't know. But he plays in the position that I want. I know Pops is very big on the Mo. Like his number one thing is the Mo replacement. He said 2 years, and we've all been saying it for 2 years. But then you've got that issue, the age-old story of how do you get a player who's good enough to play for us, but is happy to sit on the bench if Mo is fit, when Mo is probably going to be fit 90% of the games minimum, because that's what he's always done. So it's always been really, really hard. But eventually you'll get someone who, if you can say to them, look, in a year, when you've had a year to bed in, then Mr. Mo over here, he's going off. We all know that. So I don't know if he's the guy. I know he's someone you love. I haven't watched a whole lot of him. But it's definitely that kind of, again, sometimes I'm more about positions than names, because you're telling me it's a right-sided forward that can score goals. Don't care what his name is, bring him in. It doesn't. I don't care if it's Ederson or Zubimendi or Palacios or whoever it is in the DM. If they're the best player in that role, bring them in. Don't give me a left back. Don't give me a number 8. Don't give me a left winger, because you don't need them. Get the right guy in. And I think you've got a shout now. You've got a really good opportunity now to bring in someone at that kind of younger age who you're almost more or less saying you'll have a season to bed in, and then when Mo goes, that spot is going to be yours. So but I don't think it might be a bit of an awkward conversation. Like he'll ring out and he was like, "Don't worry, I'm not ringing about Zubimendi. I'm ringing about Kuba. I'm not ringing about Zubimendi." So once you get over that, it could be fine, but definitely something. He's the kind of player as well that I think we need to bring in, that bit of someone with a bit of flair and a bit of excitement that the fans want to see, that fans like seeing. Obviously, he has to fit the bill, but he's a kind of the cherry on the top signing for my summer would have been DM, then centre half, number 6, then centre half, and then that right-sided guy.
Okay. Yeah. I was just answering Revenites. I know Revenite is saying, it's similar, very similar to is there a right wing, or is there I guess DM and the DM concern and the right wing concern is different in our cases in our certain cases, because the DM concern is something that we're trying to improve on. You're not really going to improve on Mo Salah. Mo Salah is the best in the world, I believe, at right wing, but finding a player that's going to be patient, it's going to be comfortable playing cup games, playing, piecemeal style roles in the game until it is his choice or is his time to shine. That's a different story. That's certainly definitely a different story. We got Lee in the house now. Let me bring Lee in too to the conversation. Big up, Lee. How you doing?
Good, yeah, good.
Hey,
all right. There you go.
Who's your top 3, Revenite? And I'm genuinely interested, Revenite. Who's your top 3? Because he's saying there's tons out there, and I know there are, and I know you're he's more up on players than I am the last couple of years. So, Revenite, who are your top 3 choices now that Zubi is out the door or out of the equation?
Mhm. Yeah, because this is the best revenge, by the way, Bernie. The best revenge is success. I hope our lads prove that they are better and more loyal than Zuby. Bernadette has it correct. I got asked a couple. There was a couple comments to our chat yesterday, and some that were in agreement with the way that some of our stances were, some in disagreement with our stances on the Zuby situation. Even our opinions on whether we'd even be accepting of him now that he's going through the issues with the contract issues that he's going through, that are making him probably show they're most likely putting a better light on his beloved club that is showing their true colors to him. But what it is that my answer in one of those responses, and it kind of goes to what Reverend Knight's saying, is that I believe that you have to understand that this coach has some sense of an evaluation of the current players that we have. He's already said he wanted to get a true evaluation by seeing them in person, but I know they've done their due diligence, I'm sure, by looking at tape and listening to the analytics and all the other things as well. But he's doing his eye test on what he's got, and I'm sure that he is also, and he has put it out there, that he does have some input in what he needs or what he wants for the club, or what he requires to make us successful. And what it is with them is that a lot of what I'm hearing as being the alternatives to bring in are kind of, some of them fall a little flat, and some of them definitely are exceptional players. I think Bruno G is an exceptional player, for instance. I see Bruno G is on there. I think Ederson's a good player. I don't think he's an exceptional player, but I think he's a very good player. Wharton is a promising player. I'm not really willing to put 100 million pounds on the table for Wharton, and that's the issue that we run into. A lot of these players are over evaluated for the worth of what they are, in the sense of the value of what they bring to the team. It's not equal to the value of what the player is on the current market. So with that said, some of these players kind of cross themselves out from that. And it's not them doing it, it's their club doing it, in my humble opinion. And I also will say this, and this is my answer, and I'll land here and allow for the panel to put their 2 cents into the conversation too. I said that once Matip got hurt last year, I put my neck on the line by saying that I trust in Ryan Gravenberch possibly being a 6 for this club. I saw him because I liked some of the qualities that we were missing, or we're going to go or come absent on because of Matip's absence. Not saying being a center back, but as in his progressive carries, some of his offensive skills were things that we could possibly get from Gravenberch, and possibly even more so than what we saw with Matip. And I wanted to see that. He has the opportunity, and success is about seizing the opportunity. And I'm hoping that Gravenberch takes that opportunity by the horns and really runs with it. And I think that what we have on this team, apart from just Gravenberch, we have some very good options that already know the system, already have some gel and understanding of their teammates and players around them. That, I think, is essential. And that's why I don't really think that we're in such a bind or a hole, as a lot of people think, that we have to go out and just get anyone. I don't think that's the case. We'll allow for Lee. Lee just joined us. Do you want to have a say in that take, or do you want to say a piece?
Yeah,
say your own piece.
I think Gravenberch could have a really good season, hopefully, under Slot. There are defensive attributes to his game, I think, and he can be employed as more of a 6, in conjunction with somebody else. If he's playing alongside somebody else, he's got the skills to do that job, I think. And he is a good box-to-box player, isn't he? You watch the way he moves and that. He's an excellent player in that regard. To bring it from in front of your own box to the front of the opposition's box, as it says on the tin. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I want to see a bit from Ryan this season. Like, I'm not saying he didn't show it last season. People were moaning. I wasn't moaning particularly last season, but I want to see a bit from Ryan. Like, hopefully, in the early months under Slot, we're going to need him to bed in and show his quality, aren't we? If we're not buying anyone, so we're looking at him, Mark. Sobbo, Endo, Jones, aren't we, like, as being the mainstays there?
Okay. Brian, do you have another say, or?
Definitely not just. There's probably three camps. There's the camp maybe that thinks we don't need anybody, which I think would probably be about 0% of people. I mean, the club have come out and said, all the boys, all the David Lynch's, all these people said Slot wants a number 6. He wants someone to do that role. So obviously we think we need one, but definitely not just anybody. But I think we do need somebody in that role and to improve the team. I think if we it'd be a case of us kind of saying, oh, well, look, these guys, we're using these guys. They must be good enough. The more I look at the squad, the more the big gaping hole there is obvious. But look, it is what it is. I think we could get to January using Gravenberch and McAllister, but neither of them are specialists in that role. And I mean, if you had somebody sitting beside Gravenberch and he can get forward and he can do everything, yeah, I really don't know. But there's, even being the most positive way possible to look at it, we still need somebody in that role, but definitely not somebody for the sake of it. Somebody, which is kind of nearly like we may as well we have Endo for that. But
right, exactly. I was just about to ask you, isn't it possibly though that a lot of people keep getting so anchored towards the destroyer concept, and because they're so anchored to that, that's the kind of role of a 6 they're looking to bring in. So
hopefully not. If they've been paying attention,
some of these players that have been.
Sorry, go ahead. No, okay, sorry. Just if they've been if they've been listening to Don himself, he's come out and said it. Like, that's not what they want. That's why he doesn't rate Endo in that role. Right. Or he doesn't think Endo can fit that role. He wants someone who can basically be a holding midfielder, but not just an out-and-out destroyer. He has that specialized role lined up for somebody. And I just think at the moment, to me, my money would be on us muddling through with what we have until January. And then I think it'll be that, because there's been no talk of anybody else. Not happy about it. I mean, I'm not happy that we spent all this time on this target. Like, the fact that we were spending all that time tells you we obviously want to get someone in that role. But who plays there and who does it? Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never seen Gravenberch play in a double pivot for us properly. So it just remains to be seen, really, for all of us, doesn't it?
Right.
How he does.
That's the weird thing about it is, yeah, that's the weird thing about it. Go ahead. No,
I'm finished, man. You go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry with the delay. Yeah, I think we must have a little bit of a delay, so I'm trying. I know we got to work through it. I'm sorry.
If you look at Dutch teams, usually the Dutch number 6s can always play football as well, like, can always pass the ball as well. And that might be what Lot's not seeing in Endo. He's thinking this guy can't really pass the ball. And Dutch teams do tend to have number 6s that can also pass the ball. Like, it's part of their history, their heritage as a nation, like, and as a footballing people. So I don't know if Endo will gel with Slot's ideas for any more than the short term until January, because it looks like that's where we're going until January, doesn't it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Again, apologies for the delays. I know. I think maybe my computer is on overload right now or something, I guess. trying to find out what's open that is making it maybe give a little bit of delay to my responses. But I'm not trying to talk over you, by the way, just so you know that. I was going to say, though, that, I get what's interesting is that Gravenberch has played in a pivot situation before. He hasn't played in a pivot. We haven't played a pivot situation here, really, with the Klopp situation. It doesn't matter. This isn't Klopp. This isn't a Klopp formation or a system. This is a slot system. It's something that's it's not completely different, but it's definitely different from the Klopp system. And it's something that I get that a lot of people all automatically want to say, oh, he's not a destroyer, or he's not this, or he's not that, or his defense isn't here, or the defense isn't there. And that's because we haven't seen it been utilized just yet. Let's get a test sample and then make the evaluations, I think, and then we can all be really, really cognitive of like how we can say, okay, yes, this isn't working, or yes, we need to go into the January market, as Leah said, and the Irishman has said as well, and say, yeah, then we can get a better assessment of what we exactly need if that is available on the market. But I think that we have comparable parts, and I think that despite the fact that we have a Gravenberch or a Dom or a maybe even Curtis Jones or maybe even a Maka in that role of the pivot, what you ask from the pivot is different than what you ask from a sole number 6, and that's the reason why I'm saying before. And Brzezinski. Yeah, I can't forget Brzezinski. Yeah, now especially that he's turned down the loan option. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the results that we can get from it, because I think that there's going to be some people out there that maybe hold crow, or maybe I do, But I'm definitely interested to see what happens.
Number one, stay fit.
There's something else. Oh, as long as he stays fit, certainly. Well, what was great? One thing, hey, this is one positive that we can take. It was presented in the presser today from our coach, and it was welcome news to hear. Everyone's fit on the team. How about that?
Yeah.
Everyone's fit and good to go. How about that? That's something that as a club we have not heard too often. Everyone is fit and ready to go. It's good. It's good words to hear.
100%.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. There's another article in the news, and I'm going to bring up some of our picks for these. There's another article that is in the news now, and that is about the fact that we, as a club, along with others, are going to have to take care of this. But I know it's a little bit small, but basically, Man City have to be sued. And what that means by that is clubs will have to, the investigation to Manchester City's financial conduct has been pushed to September 2024. So we're about a couple of weeks away from this case finally getting it started. With Premier League CEO Richard Masters urging that we get a swift and resolute resolution to stating it is time now for the case to resolve itself. Clubs in the Premier League and Europe are preparing for legal claims against Manchester City Football Club for compensation in what is being put as can cause them to go bankrupt. Now, I don't think that they're going to go bankrupt. We've had this discussion backstage. They're not going to go bankrupt, okay? But could certainly bankrupt possibly Manchester City for what it would take to possibly try to compensate, since you can't just throw your own money into the club. You have to figure out ways to compensate correctly or above board to make your end, make your bottom line match. So if they are found guilty, of course, that could be the case. So basically what I'm getting at is that despite despite all of the city saying that they are innocent and they'll be proven to be found cleared of all their wrongdoing, it still comes down to that clubs now have to go and take the means of putting in their lawsuits now, because if they wait till the case is finally finished, chances are it'll be past the legal what's the words I'm looking for?
Deadline, basically.
The deadline, basically, yeah, like the statute, the legal statute or legal the length
statute
of how long you have to file your lawsuit will be up. Statute of limitations. That's what thank you. And yes, and that's why it should be interesting, because it'll be a lot of there could be a lot of clubs that could say, hey, because of your cheating, we were relegated, or because of your cheating, we missed out on Champions League, or because of your alleged cheating, we got I don't know, like out of 5th or 6th place, out of Europa or whatever the case might be, So there's going to be a lot of litigants basically against City who are taking the Prem, not only for this case, but we're still waiting for the other case that they had with the APT case to finally be adjudicated as well. So it's interesting. City once again doing their thing, which is just throwing as much, fecal matter against the wall and calling it art as they can. Yowzers. There is some good news that I want to talk about too, and this is no.
Can I just quickly can I just compliment Pops?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because Pops and me, if we went into a restaurant, we're definitely ordering the same thing. He wants exactly what I want: a centre back, a DM, and a right winger, goal scoring, right-sided forward. That's what you need.
Okay.
I mean, and another, maybe it doesn't mean anything, but Inter just signed a centre half today.
All right, I feel you on that one. In the wind, you can hear Tony.
Who did he buy, Brian?
Some young lad from Teleras or something like that. Yeah, he's he's young enough. I don't think he's like some, but yeah, he's there.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. He's there. That's all that matters. He's definitely there. What I was going to say too, though, is I was going to also make sure. I was going to see if I'm going to send one out to Pops. Send something out to Pops here, in case. Pops, if you are available, you can definitely give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. I can send you the link if you want to join the conversation. But this is what I wanted to include. Let me make sure I can get a better. All the images are still coming out a little small, despite the fact that I put it in for a large format.
Yeah, this just quickly on
gentleman right here.
Sorry, no, just quickly on something he's saying. I can't believe West Ham haven't had to sell somebody yet, because they've spent a ton of money. I wouldn't be surprised if but I haven't heard a single peep about any of their players going, and they've spent a fortune. So I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, they're buying this guy and that guy. Well, Kudos is definitely going to go, or Paqueta is definitely going to go, but they seem to have kept the whole squad together there at the moment, but remains to be seen. I thought Kudos would be on the market, definitely.
Oh, to try to make the ends. Yeah. There's a lot of people asking how they've been able to do a lot of the moves that they've been able to do. For sure. Yeah. Because they've brought in a lot of names, and not for cheap too. Some of them have been for, good money.
Yeah. That's 7, I think.
So there's always, yeah. I don't know if I have that window open. Let me see. Maybe. No, I don't have it open. I had a list, but yeah, there is a lot. There is a lot. I was just gonna bring up this. This is a feel good story for me at least. If James Milner is to play on Saturday, he will officially become the only player in Premier League history to play in, count them, 23 seasons. 23 seasons. Whether for Newcastle, whether for Manchester City, whether for Luton, or excuse me, or Luton, whether for Villa, he's played for, whether for Brighton, which is his current team, whether for Leeds, whether for, obviously, and let me bring up this photo, and whether for Liverpool. James Milner has been a absolute incredible champion and stalwart in the Premier League, and has been a very incredible icon and role model to follow along from. Big up to James Milner. You always, even though you're always a Red, even though you're currently not a Red per se, but you're always a Red in your heart. That's how I see it. And we wish you
Once
the
a
best.
Red, always a Red.
Exactly. So,
yeah,
do you want to say anything?
People like Milner and Henderson are legends of the modern Liverpool era, aren't they? I don't know if I'd go so far as to say the legends, like full stop, of Liverpool Football Club, but of the modern era, they certainly are, like people like Milner and Henderson. They were sort of where it started for Klopp, like where they were like the players he came in and identified and went, right, I can work with these guys, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of good there's a lot of feel good stories that James Milner is associated with this club, with this team. He's been through like the good times and the bad times with the club, and he's always worked hard. He's always been a professional, and he's been an incredible role model for a lot of youngsters and for a lot of the veterans as well. I mean, like that's the great thing that's a true mark of a man, is that when you can not only be a role model to young ones, but also to be a role model to your peers. That's important.
That was the best thing about Milner, wasn't it? Like, he was such a brilliant role model. Like, you always heard that he was like first in and last out, like the training, and he took everything like 1000% seriously, didn't he, James Milner, like in his career? And that can't not rub off on young players who are playing in and around him and training with them and that.
Certainly. There was a funny one too. If you guys thought that, I know you guys saw the preview. Some of you saw the preview yesterday. But it was interesting. There was a Dave O.C. Kopp put out a preview of his own lineup prediction, and what was kind of interesting was the choices he made were very, very interesting choices. I'll include those real quick for you, kind of before we get into a lot of what our main story here, and that is this lineup here. Basically, in this lineup, he was saying that he had Diaz on the right, he had Salah in the middle, he had Cody on the left, he had a midfield of Maka and Dom as 8s, he had Trent in as a 6, he had Bradley on the right, and then he had a more familiar back line of Kwanzaa and DVD, and then he had Simicast on the left, and he had Ali in goal. If you think that some of us were thinking outside the box, Dave O.C. Kopp was definitely thinking outside the box with this lineup. Pretty crazy lineup. Some of them, and it's definitely thinking outside the box for sure. Yeah. So Let me see what something's going on in the chat about Paul Joyce. I think. Oh, that's basically what we were just talking about too. I'll bring up the quote. Bonkers says Paul Joyce on LFC possibly not signing anyone. He says it's possible the squad's not as bad as people make out. It's where I think that it's a shame that a lot of us think that we're worse off than we are. They won't just sign someone for the sake of it, is what I've been saying too. This is Paul Joyce via Born Red LFC. So, but yeah, I get that. I get that people are very, very centered on that we need a DM. I would like to see a DM, but it's got to be the right DM. That's all I'm trying to get across. But we are going to get into this ratings thing.
Just before we quickly do on that, just sometimes you need to take it from the horse's mouth. And I mean, literally, Arne Slot basically came out and said, we want to buy somebody in that position. Mm-hmm. So that's what like the manager himself has said it. So it will be kind of coping. No matter what we do, it will be coping without someone that we wanted to bring in. So there will obviously be, I mean, it could even happen before the window closes. But I think it's only a matter of time before someone does come in to that role. Now, I know Revenite, look, it does. These things, when you read them from a particular angle, a statement like that could literally just be coming from the club. I mean, it literally is just something you'd expect the club to say. You know, it's not very insightful journalism. It's not, but it's very, don't worry, everything is cool, you know? But I don't, you know, I think there's definitely three camps on this. I think there's people who think we're in a bad way. Definitely. We're not. People who think we need signings and just sign anybody, just sign somebody. And then you've got people who are like, no, we need this and we need that, but not some guy for 12 million because it's September the 1st and we have nobody. So I think they've been tossed a difficult window, a really difficult window, I think. And yeah, Arne Scott went to bat for Richard Hughes in that press conference, which is never good. You don't need that. You don't want that to have to be happening. I mean, him coming out and saying basically this wasn't his fault. He went there, you know, the player kind of basically said yes. So, you know, the fact that he changed his mind, this isn't Richard Hughes' fault. So everybody's aware that this is this was their first big deal that they were trying to get done. You know, be smooth, be FSG, you know, be Liverpool, get it done. And it didn't quite work out. So, you don't want that.
Zubimendi is lying about his wife and children not wanting to leave Spain.
He's probably not even married, Lee. He's probably not even married.
If you don't believe him, then you don't believe him. That's all there is. Like for me, he's come out and said why he didn't move. He's not moved before after being courted by clubs. So I'm believing the guy like that. It's his wife and kids, and he doesn't want to leave Spain.
Yeah, we move. We'll get on to the subject of the hour.
To come. I don't think they probably could have done any more to convince the man to come.
Well, no, he said so we thought we had to. We move. We have a show. We have a show. We have a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, big up Nolante. I didn't see it there. Nice one.
Yeah, big up Nolante.
Yeah, his loss, mate. Exactly, his loss, not ours. We move.
Yeah.
Could actually be in the short term. It could be a positive not buying anyone. Like Slot must have to get his A game on with his coaching, mightn't he? Like, and that might reap benefits. You never know. Life works in weird ways sometimes. Like, and this could have a positive effect on our season. Who knows? I don't mean not getting Zubimendi. I mean not buying anyone could be positive. We just don't know yet how it's going to work out. We'll get an idea tomorrow, though. If we get the points.
For sure. But again, like Brian says, on with the show, right? So what I was going to do was I was going to give you some background to this. Pops is in the house, so you can kind of like verify this. But we were having a discussion, and there was a particular individual that said that we only have, I think he said something like 10 or 11 to 13. He said 13 tops, good to very good players on this team. We only have 13 top, and that's the top 13 good to very good players on this team. And I said that was ridiculous. I didn't think that. I didn't agree with that assessment. We all have our own personal assessments, I guess, so that's not to say that I'm not necessarily saying that he is wrong, but I am saying he's wrong. I don't know. But in my opinion, he's wrong at least, right? And what I meant by that is that it made me, I was put on the spot by Beige and Red's crew to give my assessments of the players, whether I thought they were very good or or even elite, and before we even get into the names, because I know that people will be like, oh, this or that, let's not even go down that route. What I've done is I've just made a simple A, B, or C evaluation, okay? And what I mean by that is you're either an A player or a B player or a C player. A being obviously what it is, and B being what it is, and C being what it is, okay? And I even made it where I even separated the B's and C's in that I made an elite B being B plus, B minus, C plus, and C minus, just to make it easy for everyone, okay? Just to make it easy, okay? Because we've all been to school at some time of our lives, or most of us have at least, right? I guess I'll say that. Some of us were too busy trying to maybe skip out on it. What's that? Okay. But go to school out there if you're a youngster. Go to school. Don't skip out of school. But we have a list all the same. I've made a list to kind of get this. I'll do a live list with Lee, because I don't think Lee has he might have written down his list, but I don't have his list. So you can do an interactive list with Lee at the end here. But myself and the Irishman have a list that we've created in our conception of this 20. We only did 23 men roster. I know there can be up to 25 players. I know also that you could possibly try to include other players here and there, but this is just for like the main bulk of the squad. Okay, I didn't rate a Kai Gordon or a Ben Doak or something like that. Okay, those aren't included in my evaluations here. These are just for the core members. I'll do my list first. Then I'll bring up Brian's list, and then we'll do Lee, and you can chime in with your suggestions when we get to Lee. When we get to Lee's selections, because that one will be interactive. Okay, so let me bring up my list here. So this again is my evaluation of the squad. Hopefully hopefully you can see that. Brent, let me see if I can make it a little bit okay, some reason StreamYard makes it all the same size. It doesn't make it bigger. That's about as big as I can get it, unless I possibly do. Let me see if I can do it. Maybe that's better. That's a little better. Okay, so my assessment was this. I gave A ratings to Allison, Virgil van Dijk. I gave it to Mo Salah. I gave an A rating to Trent, and I gave an A rating to McAllister. Those are my A rating players. I gave B pluses to Robbo, Diego, Lucho, Darwin, and Dom. Those were my B plus players. Those are the players I think that are upper echelon B players. I think that there were some players here on my B minus list that were certainly in the beginning of the year, or last year at least, I thought could have been, or if not were, definitely in that B plus, but have taken a little bit of a knockdown somewhat. But doesn't mean they're not on the cusp of getting back into that B plus. I've tiered this, by the way, so that you can see that most likely the higher rated players are first in the list going down in stature from the numbers. So in B minus, I had Ibu, I had Kwanzaa, I had Kelleher, I have Cody, I have Ringlets, aka Harvey, I have Cujo, and I have Bradley. In my C plus rating, and that's again my C plus rating. This is arguable too, because some of these might have been close to getting into that B minus, but they're not there just yet. And maybe they were, but they maybe come down to 1 or 2 notches. And that is Joe Gomez. I have Ryan. I have Simi. I have Endo, and I even have Sep in that just making C plus rating for me. And then I have at my C minus rating, I have Bashetic. So again, that's a 23-man roster right there. That breaks down my assessment, like I said, whenever you're thinking of like, oh, what do you rate these players, or how are you rating these players, the likes, that should give you some at least assessment of how I look at this team and why I think, and why
Who's that beside Allison?
That I think, huh?
Who's that? I can't see. Who's that beside Allison on your list?
Virgil.
Is that? Oh God, it isn't.
Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, I'm going blind. Sorry, yeah, it isn't. It's the way the top of his head is gone, so I couldn't see him.
I know it's a little bit. I know it is a little small. I understand. If you're looking on your phone, it probably is pretty small to see. That's why I try to read them out so you can see them. And I went in order. Again, I pretty much like, hypothetically, if I was saying he's a 94 or he's a 93 or whatever, I try to do it in order of the hierarchy from left to right, just to even give you that little breakdown as well as to where I rate these players. But yeah, I had on my A's, I had Ali, VVD, Mo, Trent, and then McAllister to finish out my A's at my A list. Let's take a look at Brian's list here. He has a little bit different. He had different letters, but it's still
A B C D.
That's because
we know
it's still A B C D E. Disregard the S. Yeah, disregard the S. This is Brian's. I'll let Brian give out his ratings. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay. Yeah, my guys in our squad that I think are kind of unequivocally top level is Allison, Trent, McAllister, Salah, and Virgil. Those really are. That's it. Yeah. I mean, I've only got 3 kind of categories. So then in the B, which I like, again, it's a bit of a stretch for a couple of them, but then it's that is Curtis Jones, that is Gakpo, that is Robertson, that is Jota, that's Joe Gomez, that's Luis Diaz, that's Ryan Gravenberch, that is Ibu Konate, and there's someone to the right of Ibu Konate is Dominic Szoboszlai, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
And then in my...
If it's too small, I can read them out for you too, by the way, Brian. I know that's...
No. It's cool. No, I have it on my TV as well. It's and my bottom tier list players that I have at the moment for us are who the hell? Oh, that's Diaz, or that's Bajcetic. Then there's Connor Bradley.
Yes, that's right.
Then I have somebody else in there. Then Endo, Darwin Núñez, and Elliot. Mm-hmm. So I think, those are our lowest kind of. I think Elliot, maybe, if I was thinking straight, I'd probably swap Elliot with Curtis Jones. I'd have Elliot in the B and Jones in the C. So my C list players are Bajcetic and Bradley, mainly because of age. Endo, also because of age, and kind of as peak. Darwin, because Darwin, and Jones, because So I think, but even then, I think it's pretty good. What Where's Kwanzaa? Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't on the list. I would add him in the B. I would add him in B.
Oh, he should have been on the list. He was on there. But okay.
Oh,
Kwanzaa's
yeah,
a B too,
yeah,
though. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I'll bring up the interactive one here. And we can do Lee, and you guys can have you can do your best to do one where we do completely by the mighty Red Army out there. That'd be so difficult because everyone will have certainly different rates to try to influence Lee in giving his own. I have mine already still on here, but what I'll do is I will I will at least allow for you to do we can move
Lee
the
got his
players
list. You're
as we
breaking
put.
up a
I'm gonna
lot.
I'll bring them.
You're breaking up a lot. Yeah, you're frozen now. Can you hear us? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's totally melting his computer. I don't think he can even hear us now. Can you hear me, Lee?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
I don't think 12 Man can hear us. He definitely can't hear us. He's talking away. Can't hear us.
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
No. No. Tell him in the chat that he's on mute. Oh, okay. No, we can't hear you, man.
No worries. Yeah. For some reason it muted me for some reason when I tried. It says it gave me an alert or something, and then it muted me for some reason. I don't know why I was doing that.
Yeah.
But I can hear you. I was sitting there going, I can hear you.
Yeah. Lee put his list in the chat, in the private chat.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So we are going with Lee's selections are, let's see. He has Ali in at A. He has at A. He has Robbo in at A. Okay. He has Maka in at A. He has Salah in at A, and he has Diego in at A. Okay. Oh, and he even has Diaz in at A. Wow.
Oh.
Lee. All right, Lee. Lee's got some confidence in our squad. Yeah. His B list was okay. B list is B list. Let me just bring this down so it's easier. His B list is Nunez. Where are you? He has Gravenberch. There you are. Your goatee. He has Kanate in at B. He has Cody in at B. He has where's Cujo? He has Curtis in. Did I pass him? Yep, Curtis in at B. He has C being Kwanzaa. He has C being Elliot. He has C being Bradley. And he has C being Endo and Bashetic.
Just check the private
Did you
chat, will
put
you?
Gomez? I thought you did put Gomez in here, right?
Yeah,
Me, I
go
had him in there.
be there and see for my.
I'm in the private chat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. That's up to you. That's up to you, Irishman.
I think it is.
I don't know. Revenite, do you want to come on and do a list?
I'm
If
looking
you're in the
at
chat,
it
do you want to
here.
come on after and do a list? If you're free, come on and do your own tier for the chat.
Oh goodness, this is gonna be. I don't think we have D's and E's.
Yeah, I just go out there.
It's Z's and Y's you're going to be needing, not D's and E's, man.
It's a joke. It's not a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
Joe Gomez. So
Yeah,
put him
exactly.
I'll put him at the end on
What was
B.
that?
Basically, I put all the kids at the bottom.
The end of B,
C.
okay. And then what about Simicast? Bottom C, okay. And I don't know if you wanted to rate Sep or not.
He's not like a massively important guy, Simicast. He can go on C as well. Like,
Okay.
I'm thinking like what players
All right.
are.
So this was his list
out this season. So it started with the obvious ones like Alisson, Van Dijk, etc. And then I put the others in sort of order of like where I'm bothered if they'd be missing. I mean, I don't want anyone to be injured, but I was thinking about who we could cope without least. That's the way I thought about the A, B, and C.
I got you. So this was Lee's list. Lee had Ali, Trent, BBD, Robbo. He had Bean, Nunez, Gravenberch, Ibu, Cody, Dom, Cujo, and Joey at B's. He had C's being Kwanzaa, Elliott, Bradley, Kelleher, and Bashetic, Simicast, and Sep. And why I was saying is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You had at least 15 players being, very good players. I mean, B, I would show as being very good at least. If not, the A being elite. You had 15 players on this list being in that like upper echelon, That's why when I heard the whole like only 10 to 13 players, I'm like, that's a low number. That's really interesting.
What did I have?
He puts a little bit higher ratings towards some of these players. And I can give it, yeah. Let me go back and say, I think you didn't have all the players. That's why you had other players that you wanted to have in here.
I know. I think Lee was doing it from perspective of,
and you didn't have.
Yeah, I think. I think Lee was doing it from a perspective of how important they are to the club. I think the way I was doing it was sort of in today's football. I mean, how many of them are sort of top bracket? A. How many are B and C? That was more how I was looking at it. Really, it was just sort of like the whole world class or whatever. But yeah, slightly different, basic, but yeah, just slightly different way of doing it. But that was my way of looking at it. It was like in the world of football, how many of them are A players, B players, C players? If A is the top, and that's the way I did it. And because even like to be in C, right. I mean to be Bashetic and something like that, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not a bad place to be.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say because like you had, let's see, 10, you had 14 players being basically in that like B or A, B to A rating.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not including. I don't know. Where were you gonna put Kwanzaa in the B?
Oh, in the B.
Would you put Kwanzaa in B, or would you have him in C?
Yeah, Kwanzaa. Yeah, Kwanzaa in the B. So basically, all but 5 of our current team players, I would have in the top kind of two. But again, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with a couple of choices. But yeah, I worked with what I had, and I wanted to be generous to a degree. But yeah, I'm happy with it. But I would have. I needed to keep that top group tight enough, and I think basically the guys are in that they all deserve. They could not be in it. Basically, some people could say McAllister is there.
I don't think anyone would.
No, maybe some outside fans, maybe they could say that he's not top bracket, but we've seen him and maybe we think he is.
Right.
But like some people were saying last night, he can't run for shit. He looks like he's running in treacle or toffee or whatever you want to call it. But I think definitely Ali Trent, Salah and Virgil are by anybody's measure a quality players. So I think it's all right. We're doing okay.
No, I agree.
We're not going to do bad at all.
I think what you said I think your assessment of McAllister is spot on. I think that like there possibly would be people out there that say, "Oh, McAllister's not, an A-level player, or this or that," and and I get that, and I can get that some people might say that because they haven't seen him play. I think if anything, there's people in this club or people part of this fan base that had McAllister possibly being our best player last year.
For parts of it, definitely. The second half of the season,
yeah.
Considering he was a new player,
so I mean, like,
he was a new player. He was close to being, if not the player of the season. Considering it was his first season, he was like not immaculate, but he was really good, wasn't he? He was really good.
As soon as Endo came in, you saw what happened to McAllister. So big up to Revenite in the building.
Yeah, big up Revenite for joining us.
You guys hear me?
Revenite's going to come is playing the Grinch that stole Christmas, I think, possibly. So I was just joking with Revenite. I know your ratings are going to be definitely interesting to hear. How are you doing, Revenite? How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
You're a bit muffly. It could be better.
Well, muffled, but yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Let me try. I've got headphones in to try and stop the echo, but I have never done it on the phone before, so I'm trying to figure this out.
You're sounding better there. Whatever you're doing there is a bit better. So maybe it was just a mic twist on the lead.
Yeah, no, I've got like the AirPods.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Trying to figure out what it is.
You're okay, man.
It's a little muffled, but we can hear you.
You can work with that.
Yeah, you
can work with it.
All right. Well, it's good to see you guys regardless. Anyway.
So
yeah, you're looking good, man.
I'm going to bring. Yeah.
The weight loss is going very well. The weight loss is going well.
How's everything going with how's everything going with the fitness pursuit?
No, yeah, it's going good. Besides the injury's been really hard to deal with, and it's like really hot over here right now with humidity. So, like all of that put together, it's been pretty hard to keep it going. But at least football's starting, so I don't think to take my mind off it at least. So yeah.
Yeah, when the weather cools down, you'll be able to get out a bit more, get back to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Any score in the game by any chance? No, still 0-0.
All right.
Yeah, bro, I had to leave my room, Brad, because my connection in there's bad. So I'm not able
to put that in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I will let you know some updates on that right now. Open up. I was going to have it on in the background to kind of give you guys some updates. Still 0-0. Just started off first half.
Is it our old
about 9 minutes into this game?
It is late.
It's at Old Toilet. I mean, Old Trafford. Yeah. Keep calling it that. I don't know why. But yeah.
My money is still on Fulham.
Is that geriatric Trafford? Yeah, to get some type of result would be fantastic. Right now, Fulham is more the aggressor with the ball, I would say, currently, according to SofaScore. I'm going to put this on in the background. But, yeah, I have this set up ready to go for you. If you want to give us your assessment of what the team is looking like. Hopefully you can see that, Revenite.
Yeah, I see it, but it's
Hopefully you can see
I'm not gonna be able to
that.
pick it out, but I don't
Can
think
you
it
see
matters. I just need to say, right?
the picture? Or
Mhm.
okay, I can read out the names too for you for the players. So first up is Ali. Where are you putting Ali? What's your assessment of
Yeah,
Ali?
so
A,
Ali
B,
is
or C
like
player?
Ali's simple one is A, yeah. Like you and Brian, well, all of you put him there, so that's a pretty easy one.
A list. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It took a that's yeah, I know. It seemed like that was a hard one. Okay. All right. Trent, how
You
about
kind of
Trent?
get the
What is Trent's rating
positivity
for you?
started earlier, right? So is that you're going to give me all the good names first, or you're going to leave some for
Yeah.
later?
Easy running. Easy running. Easy running. We're going to read them off as they come. You look like you're getting a
Yeah,
decent
yeah,
start
yeah.
to me, to be
All right,
honest
that's
with
just
you.
because I took him down in that
Yeah.
order. We can go, yeah. Trent, what's your Trent? I'll go randomly if you want, but that's just yeah. Go ahead, Trent.
Yeah, Trent. I think I got to say A for Trent. Yeah,
Oh,
his defending annoys me, but just not. It's not enough to go down to a B because that would be kind of
okay. All
ludicrous
right.
to be
All
honest.
right.
But yeah.
How about for Harvey? Harvey
Uh, Harvey will put him in the B, but he'll probably move to the lower B by the end. But he's a B for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about for Connor Bradley?
Yeah, I'm putting Connor in the B as well.
High praise.
Yeah, yeah. I do like Connor. He's gonna be on the lower B like Harvey too, but
All right. All
Yeah.
right. For that's okay. So, how about for Kelleher?
hmm. I don't know why Brian just popped into my head before I picked this one. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Be honest. Be honest.
Be honest. You can be
I'm
honest.
gonna be
Yeah.
honest, and I'm gonna put him
Yeah,
in
be
B.
honest. C.
He's a high C for me, but I was close to putting him B, but he's a high C for me.
All right.
Anybody know
All
how
right.
much tickets to Gibraltar are?
All right. We're gonna try to rifle through some of these.
Oh,
Yeah. How about for Dom?
Interesting.
oof, this is a
Dominic
tough one.
Vasilai.
For me, he's like between B and C, but I'm gonna edge him B just about.
Okay.
Yeah, Dom's really pissed me off, but I'll
Okay.
give him the
Okay.
benefit of the
All
doubt
right.
until
I'm
we
trying
see.
to grade. You know. Okay. How about for Kwanzaa?
No, yeah, I think Kwanzaa gives me similar feelings to Bradley, but for me, Kwanzaa has kept it more consistent than Bradley, so I would put Kwanzaa ahead of Bradley, so he's in B as well.
Okay. How about for Joey Gomez?
Yeah, this is a tough one. If this was before last season, he would have gone below C, but because I was one of his harshest critics. But I think I'm going to
Yeah,
give him a bit of
it's not this season.
yeah, yeah. If I go off last season, I'm going to put him in B. He'll be on the low end of B.
Yeah, don't forget to have he's doing the whole left to right thing as well.
All right, all
Yeah,
So
right. How
he's
about
grading he's grading it within the tier as well that way. So because when you put Bradley
I'm trying to
in
put it
your
as
B,
close to
yeah. Yeah, because when you put Bradley in a B, Revenant, you're basically saying that everybody
he
else
said
in that
Kwanzaa.
category is
I put
equal to Bradley. So, you know, I think it's a high rating. It's a high rating for Bradley. after only
But
six to 8 months.
if you want to say it that way, Brian, but in my head, I'm lighting them up in my head.
I'm gauging him. I'm putting him very quick.
Play by the rules.
Best from left to right as possible as I can for him.
You're just angry because I put Keller LFC. That's the only
how about
reason
for,
Yeah, and so is Barney. I'm not the only one. Man.
Ibu.
Honestly, I was a big fan of Ibu before last season. I would have put him in A before last season, but because last season I was so disappointed, he's going in C. And this is a really harsh rating, but he's going in C.
Above or below Kelleher in C?
Below Kelleher.
All right.
Oh, so your lowest ranked player so far, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. There we go. That's the first 2-footer of the night.
Gravenberg. How about for since that bandage ripped off, Gravenberg. What's Gravenberg for you?
Yeah, Gravenberg is a really tough one because I really rate Gravenberg, and last season was really tough because he was like injured and we didn't see enough of him and he was kind of underwhelming. But I really like him as a player, but it's like
we've never seen the best of him, have we? Like since he went to Munich, have we seen the best? Like he's literally been like in and out transfers, nonsense, speculation, falling out with the managers. It's like I don't think he's ever had a settled run since he left Ajax, like a real genuine settled run and a go in the team.
Yeah, if I were to go on like rating him on like his performances on the season, he'd go between Konate and Kelleher, but I'm like, is it fair? Because like he hasn't played enough, so I'm thinking to just put him in like lower B, because like I feel like this season is going to be at the gauge of him. It's so hard.
Could be a huge season for him. Could be a proper break.
You put him wherever you like. It's your ratings, so you want to put him in B? I'll put him right by Joey. Darwin Nunez. How about Darwin Nunez? Where are you gonna put Darwin Nunez?
Start scrolling down, dude. Start scrolling down.
Yeah, if we're only doing up to C, you can put him at the end of C. Even though there's nothing there, you can't put him there. Like, put him there already.
If you want to put him in D, I'll make another category. Yeah. This is kind of. There's no way that Darwin Nunez is a D.
There's a D.
I'll put him in your D. That's your rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a D. Yeah, there is the. Yeah, let's not even go there.
Well, it's D for Darwin. He's got his own special little category.
Yeah, so that was right.
Oops, I think I added too many.
At least if he's in around his own, he can't start a fight.
Let me move this back up. Yeah, D for Darwin. C for Darwin. There you go. Let's just see. This is all right.
Yeah, Pops. He's narrowing down his holiday options.
We have. Yeah, exactly. How about for Lucho? What's your rating for Lucho? We got our first yellow card in the Mason Mount just got his first, possibly the first yellow card of the season.
Okay, Lucho.
All right.
Put him.
What are we doing with
Lucho?
I know. You got, just rifle him off. Just go of your heart. Lucho is a what? Lucho is A, B, C, or now your level B. Don't even bother.
Yeah.
He's right next
to
Konate.
He going?
Okay.
He's going to C, is it?
On
You're
the left or right of Konate?
Yeah.
To the right of Konate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Second bottom so far.
How about for Cody?
We knew it was
for Cody?
Yeah,
He had a great Euros.
Cody's a B for me. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a great Euros. He showed what he can do
Yeah.
in that position.
Uh,
He's
you,
strong with the
you,
ball.
Yeah.
he
How
was
about for
my, he was
Cody?
my, yeah, B. He was my favorite attacker, really.
Say
Like,
that again?
yeah, Cody was my favorite
Okay, where's
attacker.
he
Like,
going in the B
no.
list? Like
Yeah.
who?
Okay, you want to know
Just tell me
where?
who he goes in front of. Tell me who he goes in front of.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Which,
remember.
Kind of middleish, I'd say. Ahead
Yes,
of Dom, behind.
I
Oh,
got
ahead of
that's front of
Bradley,
Connor.
behind Kwanzaa.
yes. I had of Conor Bradley. Yeah.
Okay. How about for Endo?
Yeah, I put Endo in C between Kelleher and Kanai.
Endo. Okay. Okay. How about for Curtis Jones?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to remember Curtis from last season because, like,
Curtis
in
Jones.
general, in general, I'm not a big fan of his. But last season, I don't think he's been like as injured or as bad as I've normally seen him. Like, but I'm trying to gauge where I should put him.
Right.
Oof, this is a tough one for
I'm
me.
not
I'm like
grading.
between
Yeah,
B
you
and D.
don't try not to put them with who you're a fan of. Just put them with how you rate them. Yeah, just put them how you rate them.
All right, put him ahead of Endo. That's what I put him.
Curtis is going where? Endo. Okay. How about for Simicast?
Yeah, this is he's a C. What do I put him? I put he's got to go in the end because I think Lucho still did more than Simi. Simi was didn't do hardly anything last season besides the assist in the final, but it's not enough.
Okay. So he goes by Lucho, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I know. We gotta get a shave here, Bernie. You're right about that one. How
Hey,
about
we invited him on
for
last minute. Give the man a chance.
Diego? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. We're totally we're rolling with the punches here. It's all good. Rev, go ahead. For Diego.
Yeah, Diego's tough. I'll put him in B, but I'm just trying to figure out where I'm putting him in B because like the injuries, unfortunately, like put him down, but I don't know where to put him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, put him just ahead of Gakpo.
Okay.
Running up the B's. Only
How
two in
about
the A so far.
for how about for how about for Pashatic?
Yeah, we'll put him in C because he was injured too much. Okay, I think that's probably the fair place to put someone that hardly played.
So weird. I can't believe Red Devils bought the lick. Not playing though. McGuire's playing.
Yeah,
So
that is
they
weird.
didn't need I mean, did they need the lick? So weird. Anyways, Pashatic, where are you putting him?
Yeah, I'll put him in C. I'll, yeah, I'll put him at the end past Simi because he didn't play. So I just feel like that's kind of like at least Simi like got us an assist in the final, so I can't really put him ahead of him.
Okay. All right. So maybe these are some easier ones for you. Mo Salah.
Yeah, Mo's in the end. That's an easy one.
Mo Salah. Where are you gonna put Mo Salah?
Mo Salah in the A 12.
Ref,
And I'll
can you hear
put
me?
it. If you want me to say where, yeah, just there. Yeah, I'll put them at the end.
Okay. Robbo.
Robbo. Oh, I'm trying to think.
Robbo. Where are you putting Robbo?
Put him at the front of C.
The front of C. Okay. Okay.
Front of C. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And Maka.
Yeah, Mark is in the A. Next to Mo.
Maka. Where are you putting Maka? In the A. Where you want him? In front of? At the end here?
Yeah, at the end is good. Yeah.
I guess, right? Is that okay? Okay. I know if you want to move him in front of Salah or from Trent, that's VVD.
In the A. Ahead of Maka.
Ahead of Maka. All right. Or not. Do you want to reset?
No, you don't want to.
Oh, yellow card. Mason Mount is not. It's a yellow card. He's the one that. Yeah. Sep, where are you putting Sep?
Did Mason Mount
get
somebody up with his nose?
Probably.
No. None of that.
Yeah, just
where do you want to put Sep real quick? If not, you don't have to read them if you don't want to. It's not a big deal.
No, that's loads. You've done loads. That's cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
The rest
okay, that's good enough. That's good enough.
Is there any...
We'll conclude there. All right. So I'll read them out for everyone out there. These are Revanite's picks. These are Revanite's ratings. Revanite's ratings are: he gives A ratings to Ali, Trent, Mo, VVD, and Maka. I think that was like the concerted 5. At least 5 players for the. I think obviously Lee had a few more in the A column than some of us, but 5 was the bare minimum. It looks like for the A.
My A column.
Then Revanite had in the B's. He had in order. He had Harvey, Kwanzaa, Diego, Cody. He had Bradley, Dom, Joey, and then Gravenberch holding on to the B list by a slim hair. And then at C, he had Robbo, Kelleher, Curtis, Endo, Ibu, Lucho, Simicast, and Pachetic. And then he has his own category that he has not good, I guess, or D level at being Darwin Nunez. All right. That is Revanite's picks. So there, you can't say that we haven't been open enough to include those of us that want to include our picks. I'd love to hear what you guys think as well.
I think we all did it in a different way. My eight players are the ones that I'm looking at early in the season to get us results. That's why I picked the players that did in my A category. They're the players I'm looking at early in the season under slots, new reign to get us going. They're the players I'm looking at to get us going. And the others are the ones that I'm hoping, the next slot that I'm open on. And then the bottom I put all the kids who haven't really done much yet. Not that I don't value them, but I'm not looking at them to knock me out with their performances early doors. Some of the A-listers that I said, I am looking for them to do that.
Okay. I guess we all have our own little interpretations or variations of how we were looking at it. I got you, Irishman. I read your note in the private chat there. Again, apologies for delay. I have a bunch of windows open. I'm going to be closing some of them to hopefully be able to provide better. Let me close. I'm trying to close. So,
what's your prediction for tomorrow, Evan?
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully that clears up some of it.
I think.
But yes, so yeah.
Yeah, he'll catch up. You see, this is the thing. See, he's not hearing us, and then so
yeah.
So what's your prediction for tomorrow?
Okay. Yeah.
I think we scraped it 2-1, Brian. You hear me?
Same as mine. Yeah, I said 2-1 too. I'm not going with the old 4-0s and 5-0s. We're going to go there and batter 12:30. Typical. Get used to it. Here we go. Get used to fucking Liverpool. Away 12:30. I guess. I reckon we're probably going to get about 8 of them.
What do you guys have to say about Nalante's point?
Yeah.
Well,
it's very
had a good shot scoring there.
Oh,
what do you guys have to say about Nalante's point? He said, "What's worrying? 3 of those top 5 could all go next season."
I think 2 of them will be gone.
It could be something that really makes a difference.
Yeah, I think. Well, definitely Salah. I think by the looks of it, probably Verge. Trent, no. Can't see that. We'll time that. He won't. Oh, again, I'm saying touch wood, but I can absolutely see DVD and Salah walking off into the sunset next summer at the end of the journey, sort of, so to speak.
Yeah.
Trent.
Pops has a good point too. Maybe even 4 of them. 4 of them could be gone next year. Very easily.
Who's the other one?
You think
Ali.
I think he's thinking of Ali.
Right, yeah. Well, he has 2 years, doesn't he?
Yeah, it'll be the year after. Yeah.
Yeah. But if we wanted to get
maybe even we've sold him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what he means. Yeah, I'll get 50 million from Saudi for him with a year left. Yeah, if he wants to. Yeah, no, it's why we're bringing in this Mamrash Villiers guy. It's obvious to me. The first time I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, Ali's replacement. Especially the whole go on loan somewhere. 100% Ali replacement because he's told us. I'll be off well, not so much, but we're planning it that way. I don't know. It is. I think we are looking. Yeah, next season could be a little bit traumatic for some people. We might see some big names walk. Definitely.
Depends on if we have a good season, an unexpectedly good season, then they all might stay. Who knows? Maybe not Salah. I don't know. Depends how big the offer is we get for Salah. But where's Virgil going exactly? Like, where's Alisson going? Is he going to Saudi like next summer? Did he want to go there next summer? Does Mo even want to go there next summer? It depends how we do this season, doesn't it? If we have a decent season, and I mean a decent season, like which contains good silverware, big silverware, one of the 2.
You see, do you know, Lee, what the problem is that every single one of them is over the age of 31 minimum, and FSG don't give contracts to players over the age of 31, 32. They just don't do that.
Trent,
not at the big money.
You gotta exclude Trent.
No, over the age of 31.
But yeah, I understand.
Not 21. Over the age of 31. Trent's like 25. I mean.
No, I know. I thought you said every one of them is over the age of 31. I
said the 3. Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah, no. I mean, well, I wasn't talking. I think Trent. I think Trent is staying, so I've left him out of it. I mean, the guys they're not getting big new deals from FSG. They're not getting big new deals from most clubs at the age of 32. So that's what the option is there. Goalkeepers. Yeah, goalkeepers. I mean, he's not that. I mean, 34 is still kind of good, but I can see. But if someone says they want a 5-year deal, they can get it somewhere. Yeah, they're not going to get it. That's the only thing. But yeah, I'm not sure where Virgil goes. I don't know. That is a good question. I mean,
But when we were talking about all these players, the worrying thing is that this summer we should have been getting the replacements if we're not doing anything with the contracts, which was why this makes no sense, this transfer window. Because if we're not doing the contracts and we're letting them go, like we're putting too much on the people already here. Like we should be getting someone in that's more ready than the ones that are here already, because they're a bit young still. Like Kwanzaa's a bit young, and Kanate for me hasn't shown enough yet to know that he can fill the gap for me.
I'm Pops is saying, like, I'm fully with you. It's just that we know that, like, I don't care how old some players are. Gary McAllister, Fernandinho hit his peak at 32 with Man City. I mean, I don't care how old they are, but yeah, it's just FSG. They've made it clear their model is, 24, 25-year-old players. Then when you get to that age, you don't get big. And it's not, again, I'm saying FSG, it's not just them, but we won't be able to give them what they will get offered by other clubs. So, but yeah, look, Silva at Chelsea, best player there for the last few years when he was 34, 35, 36. I could see VVD playing at this level until he's at least 35. But
yeah. I mean, there's some definite, whether it was with Chelsea,
Modric
and their center back, that just retired, and then
that's what I meant. That's what I was just talking about.
As well,
yeah.
And Pepe as well. He was like 41, I think, or something like that. He was
he came into my 212. He was 40, yeah.
But we have our own Gary McAllister. I think we signed him when he was 35, Lee, 36.
Yeah,
he was brilliant.
He was
absolutely brilliant.
There you go.
Yeah, there's certain things that you have to keep in consideration when it comes to some of the players. It's just a matter of it's not an easy thing to do is to predict someone's cliff. Like as in sometimes people do fall off a cliff.
Exactly.
And they fall off dramatically. Some are just a slight decline. But yet because they're at such an exceptional level already, it's still better. Even though they aren't at their peak of their brilliance, it's still better than those out there that I'm sorry.
You'd have to imagine Trent is the priority, right? You'd have to imagine Trent is the priority.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trent is the priority, but I would
a lot of our fans are questioning whether these players will leave. Mainly because Klopp's gone. They're thinking, did he want to stick around for this new guy? But, I mean, we don't know, do we? Like, I understand why people are saying if Klopp's gone now, these players, not going to want to play for him, are they? But, they might do. They might do.
Well, one of the worrying things is that VVD came out and said that they hadn't talked to him about a contract at all. And if you're the captain, that's a bit weird. Like, like surely a new coach comes in, you get, the captain. You want the captain at least to be, settle the contract quickly, but it's kind of difficult to know what they're doing right now. It's like nothing about contracts is coming out at all.
It wouldn't take that much negotiation to get Virgil to sign a new contract.
You'd imagine not.
It's probably not. And on top of that, I mean, like I get that everyone's saying about the contracts, but again, until you have that conversation with the player, a lot of these players are just getting these sit down conversations with the coach.
Well, considering
it's one thing to maybe give them a phone call or FaceTime type, call.
But Virgil's never spent any time on the bench, has he? Apart from when Pickford done him, he's had like a near flawless fitness record. So. Not re-signing him would be stupid, wouldn't it? Like, because we know he plays and we know he's a good player and we know he's not done yet. So why wouldn't we re-sign him?
It's just, do they break the model? And I don't think they break the model. It's just, I don't think it's even the name or the age. Like, they broke the model for Endo. They broke the model for someone else. I can't remember who it was. mellow that they didn't want to
But
do.
you
So
keep
this
saying
isn't a
they.
new given
You
thing.
keep saying they, and
The club, yeah, Edwards,
they is not the same.
well, yeah, no, well, it is no, but the model
It's not the
remains the
same.
same. No, but the model remains the same. Like the club, like the age group that they want to buy, with the, a certain age with room to improve, like top quality, but still room to improve. So you're not paying 120 million, you're paying 40. But again, I just think that's the general kind of thing across the club. Like, and it's the same with Arsenal did it, like Man United did it. They lost players because AC Milan famously did it with Pirlo because they don't. We don't offer players over 30 more than 2 years. You know, but they went. So that's just some club. That's just their way of doing it. I'm not saying they won't change it, but I'm just saying like it would be going outside of the kind of the general way of doing things. That's what they do. I don't know. I just can't see them giving Salah, Ali, and Virgil new 4-year deals on big money. I just can't see them doing that.
Yeah.
And I think
No,
one of the reasons is because Mo has said, "Don't bother offering me a new deal. I'll be going," kind of thing. I can't imagine Virgil has said that, but we don't know. Ali, another one, we don't know. Like you always think these things, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh no, that guy he wants to go to Saudi. It's like, oh, okay, really? Right, that stuff changes their mind very, very quickly.
that's the difficult part, Brian. We don't know the player side yet, so
No,
we can talk
we don't know
about
what to make of it.
contracts, and if the club offers them a 2-year one, and they're like, yeah, we're not quite sure yet, or like you said, maybe they said the same as Mo, but we won't know.
Why do you reckon Mo's going to
McGuire
walk
just got a
away?
yellow card
He's going to stay and then walk away.
simulation.
I reckon so, Lee. I reckon so.
Well, it's not like we won't have had our money's worth out of him.
Jesus Christ, yeah, absolutely. Pound for pound, one of the greatest signs of all time.
See, there's some parts and points.
You don't have to compare.
Beijing Pop says we still haven't filled the midfield role we have been looking for since linked to Chimani, Caicedo, and Lavia. He goes to say, I don't see Mo as a man heading to Saudi now. He wants to win the Ballon d'Or, in his opinion, and another crack at the Champions League. I agree with that completely.
He has a chance for the Ballon d'Or this year.
A lot of what you guys are saying is valid. I mean, like, you guys can have your own opinions about the things. In my own opinion, I think that there is some room to quote unquote deviate from the model or role, the model that Brian was referencing, in that Virgil van Dijk does not appear to be someone that is letting down or had a considerable drop in his level of play. When it comes to Mo Salah again has not really had a dramatic drop in his play. I still think that at this level in both of those players' careers, they are still the top echelon of players when it comes to choices for their position. Trent, obviously, he's 25, going on 26. That's a different story. You sign him up. You sign him for as long as you can. Ali is a role where goalkeeper is a position that often goalkeepers go into their mid, if not late 30s, playing at high levels as well. So, Ali being in that whoops, my fault. Sorry about that. Ali being in that level of Ali being in that category of being 31 and over, I still again has another asterisk next to it because he's a goalkeeper, because we haven't seen any dramatic dip in his levels or in his sites. The injuries, different story. They're starting to come more often, which is unfortunate and something that we are being more protective of. And I think that because of that, that's the reason why we are possibly going for Mamar. That's the reason why we are going to have a difficult decision to make with what we do with Kelleher and why we're not so probably so ready to like release him or allow for him to go on to other teams. So I think that those top 5 that we're all talking about, the 5 that are on the board here, yes, it is concerning that 4 of them probably or could possibly go on to other teams. I just think that for the teams, I don't see Mo going to Saudi Arabia. I think that is his next team. If he's going to make a team that he's going to go to, I don't see him going to like Real Madrid or PSG as being his next free transfer. I don't see that happening. You know, if he's able to play at a Real Madrid or a PSG, he can certainly play at a Liverpool. You know,
Can I ask you a question?
BBD doing the exact same as those things as well. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, but can I ask you, like, everything you've said about those players is correct. That's what everybody has said about those players. They're all still at the top bracket. But do you think that they will be offered 3-year contracts now on a pay increase or a pay level at the same that they're at now, 350, 280, 250? Do you think, can you see the club doing that? Because I can't. That's what I'm saying.
I see the club doing. Yeah, I see the club doing this.
But,
I see the club doing a with the addition of this year. It would be 3 years in essence. I'm not saying you give them a 3-year plus this year. That would be 4 years. I can see them giving them a 2-year extension to VVD
Max.
and to Salah. I can see that.
Yeah,
happen,
but I'm counting Salah because I
be
think Salah
this year plus an additional 2 years. So it'll be altogether
I'm
3
counting
years
Salah.
of.
But I can't Salah because I think he's leaving. So do you think they'd sign up 3 players or 2 players at that age, even because they've never done that? This is all I'm saying. That's just what they've never done. That's what I'm talking about breaking the model.
I get that they've never done that, Brian.
I know you get that. No, I'm not trying. I know you understand. No, quickly. I know you understand. What I'm talking about breaking the model.
I'm trying to answer, Brian.
No, but I want to just confirm the question properly. No, I just want to make sure you understand. Like, that's what I said was they break the model to do that. That would be something that they don't normally do. Would be given big contracts to players over the age of 30. So do you see? So if we see them breaking the model to do that, or do they stick with what they've always been doing and just write it out?
Okay, my answer to that, and this is my answer, obviously. My answer to that is yes, because there was a period where the whole breaking the model was for Mo Salah. Mo Salah was not, the whole thing about Mo Salah was, are we going to break this wage ceiling to pay Mo Salah? That was a big question. And
yeah, you can tell they weren't happy about it.
Unlikely what we did before. What?
But yeah, but you could tell they were really not happy about having to do it when he was 28, 29.
You know? I mean, whether they were happy or not, I don't know. But
no,
what I
they
can
just would have loved it if he was 27.
The model.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Sure,
that's why it's breaking the model. Otherwise, it would be just So that's what means breaking the model. That's why there is a model. So that's obviously that they showed that they did break it.
Yeah.
So will they do that again?
To finish my point, finish my answer, I believe they would break the model for these players. Yes, I think that they would break for these. For these world-class players, I think they would break the model because they are now recognizing the fact that there was a conversation that we had that I was pointing out that, for instance, if you look at Manchester City has I think it's like 11 players over the 200,000 a week mark. Okay. We got some players in the 140, 160, albeit, making around there, 120, somewhere around there. Okay. But they had quite a few players that City did in that 200,000 or above. They have some exceptional players. I mean, City has players like, KDB making like close to 400,000 or something like that, right? They have
it's a lot of money for
players like Holland. Yeah, they could be.
A lot of money for League One wages. That's big.
That would be big. But where I was getting with this is that if you look at Real Madrid has, again, a incredible wage budget that is full of players making 200 or so odd thousand euros a week, you know. And I
Real
asked
Madrid team
this
is stupid.
to Lawrence. I asked this to Lawrence McKenna on his show. I asked him a direct question, and he answered it directly, because I was saying how, if you look at the times, I know that we've kept an incredible wage budget for this club. In that, you look at the players and what they're making. You know, some people for the longest time didn't even know that Lucha was on 60,000, and like people today are saying, "Oh, that's wild that he's on 60,000." And of course, he wants a pay increase. But you know, before that, he was on 24,000 euros when he was playing at Porto. Okay, so it was an increase for his salary when he got the offer. And this next offer could be another increase, or he could possibly get another increase to entice himself to stay here, or he'll find it elsewhere, whether it's Barca or whatever team he ends up going to. Long story short, I think that a lot of what we're seeing is, and the answer that Lawrence even gave on his show, is that you're going to see the two players, because there's only two players that make 200,000 or more on this team. That's VVD, and that is Salah. You're going to see a lot more of these players have to tick up closer to those notches of being in that 200,000 range. It's something I'm sure that LFC does not want to do, you know, with a smile on their face. They're going to acknowledge or recognize that that's the only way that they're going to be able to remain competitive with their salaries, is by getting into those regions.
Yeah.
And that's why I
For
think,
new players.
hey, if it means biting the bullet, for the next 2-3 years with a Salah, with the VVD, I think they do it. And not only do I think they do it with Ali as well. Ali's already in that position. You don't have to worry about giving him another contract just yet. But with VVD, I think they will. And I also think that they'll keep an honest eye on whether Salah gets that move to Saudi Arabia, because then if he has 3 years left on his deal, they'll have to come with a really concerted offer to make him move. If they're going to see VVD wants to go play in, I don't know, Ajax, or he wants to go play for PSG for some reason, or maybe he wants to go and play in America and hang out with Snoop Dogg in LA, cool. Then that will happen when it happens. But I think that those players will see those kinds of contracts.
Yeah, if I could, because I agree, in an ideal world, I would do what you're saying as well. But I kind of agree with what Brian was saying. That, like, for me, I feel like Mo is going to leave, and I think FSG is kind of happy with that, because, as Brian was saying, he's the highest earner in wages, and so that brings the max down. So then they sign VVD up and increase his a little bit to 250, and then they have a new, like, lower bar where they can, when they sign someone else, they will have that bar at 250 rather than 300 where Mo is right now. And I think Ali will go when his contract's up. I don't know. It's kind of my hunch that they want to go. This is obviously, it's speculation, of course, but that's just my feeling. I think we'll sign VVD and Trent, and I think the other two will go eventually. But yeah, that's just my. I don't know. I'm kind of on Brian's wavelength with how they want to keep this, like, this summer kind of just nails it for me, in the fact that they want to keep, like, the structure as tight as it can be.
Yeah, the one thing I've said, that 12 man knows this. I've said this about baseball owners all the time, American owners. They are fully aware of the idea of paying a star player an enormous amount of wages. They don't shy away from big wages. They're used to that. They invented the $60 million contract, and they're well into. They know that the best players in the world, they cost the biggest amount of money in wages. But this is what they won't be afraid to give that to. And like, if an Mbappe walked into the room and went, "Now sit down, guys, you might want to take a breath here. I want $2 million a week." They're like, "Of course you do. You're fucking Mbappe." I mean, I pay some baseball guys $60 million a year. Come on. We know about big wages. We're cool with big wages. But the way
Right.
the model or the way it's run here, I just think that doesn't. I'm not sure if that extends to the older guys. I think they'll pay it to the new big up and coming. They won't be blown out of the room wages wise. That for them, that's the world they come from, is bigger contracts than even until recently people like Messi and Ronaldo. All the biggest sports contracts in the world were in America. They know about paying people 100 million quid a year. They invented that shit. So they're not going to be shying away from that. They're happy to do that. They understand that, of course, he costs that much. I mean, that's who he is. So I just think, do they put that in the older category wages, or do they look at it and go, well, let's reinvest that in the new Van Dijk or the next Van Dijk or the next Mo Salah? If I was
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
my thing on it, I'd say that we sign up Trent, obviously, and Ali, and Mo and Virgil kind of walk off together, arm in arm, end of the Klopp era, kind of the last one or two, and get handed over to the next crew coming in. Because Mo would cost himself a fortune if he signed a new deal for us. If he's free next year, oh my God, the riches he could,
Yeah.
as a free agent going to Saudi, Mo Salah, the biggest in terms of commercial visibility and all of that, the biggest name in the Middle East in Arabic football is Mo Salah. He's bigger than Messi and he's bigger than Ronaldo. So if he decides to walk away as a free agent, Jesus, talk about building churches, and he could buy his own country. That's the way I see it going. But
He certainly could. I think one thing that
but hey, we don't know.
I'll let
We
Lee.
don't know. Yeah, no, we don't know. We don't know.
Lee, you want to give your 2 cents worth, or are you just cool with what we said?
On Bernie's comment about what it costs to replace, say, Virgil, if we don't give him a new contract. I mean, if we got the money to replace him, we already need a replacement for Matip, and we don't seem to be ponying that up. So replacing BVD is going to be expensive, isn't it, if we don't re-sign him?
And that stuff you were saying, that he's come out and said the club hasn't come and talked to him, I mean, that's a bit disconcerting. That's not ideal, right? Him coming out and saying hasn't been offered anything.
One at least category that we're also that hasn't been actually vocalized. It was slightly vocalized for your Messis and the likes, but for your Salahs as well, having marketability, having that signature player makes a difference. It does make a difference for your team and for the marketability for your team. I think that if anything, FSG is definitely cognizant of that. I know that they utilize that when it comes to making sometimes the decisions on players. They take not only their ability, but also take on the recognition of their ability and talent, but they also take on the level of marketability that a player might have, and having a player that sells shirts, put yourself on the front of the Premier League banners and likes makes a major difference. And VVD and
again,
Salah
what if he says
are
no?
two of those players.
But if Mo says no,
what if
Mo says no, but if Mo says no,
That's my answer.
We're kind of, it's checkmate. Then we can, I think we definitely would like to, but if he's decided, I mean, it just a lot of time, for him to let his contract go this long tells me that because he knows how much he's worth, and he can get a much higher split of his image rights away from Liverpool, because we'll take a bigger chunk. He knows exactly how much he's worth. This could be most players when they let their contracts go down into last year. I like the Van Dijk thing about not being offered one and making it like that. I don't like that. That doesn't sit right.
That's what I was saying, Brian. Because the closer we get to January, it just gets more in their hands. So then they can sign pre-contracts and all that.
Like, yeah, Virgil wants to say, and he's prepared to sign something. He's like, "Oh, the club haven't come to me," and he's saying it out loud in public. I just like stuff to be kept in house. Don't like hearing that stuff.
Yeah, not good to hear.
Yeah, I think Mo Salah. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, he could go in 2 or 3. Yeah, I just think we kind of missed out on the payday thing. But Virgil is the one that worries me because I don't like the idea of someone who wants to stay at the club that's that good, hasn't been approached or hasn't kind of been told this is what's happening, kind of thing. Clubs used to do that back in the day when they're being kind of shitty with players. It's like, oh, come on, he's the captain. Get him in a room and have a meeting with him. Tell him what the story is. He deserves that at least. You need to have someone like him going, well, you can't have a journalist walking up to VVD and go, what's the story to your new contract? And him going, well, I don't know. That's not good. Same with Trent. I mean, it's not on Hughes. They've come back to the building with these contracts nearly up, but it's not their fault or anything, but it's going a little bit under the radar. We really, really need to get these things sorted out just as much as new transfers, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned.
It should be more in a neutral position, Brian. Like, we shouldn't be hearing that they're not being spoken to at all. Like, we should be hearing that there's discussions going on at least. Like, hearing that there's no discussions at all is not a good sign at all.
I don't know.
The Trent thing.
True, to be honest with you, because I think what you guys are both not recognizing is what Pop's saying here is that there is a transfer window, but there's no contract window. So, albeit 6 months from now, they can talk to other teams. But please let me just finish my point.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
they can talk to other teams in 6 months. They can talk to teams in 6 months, but for right now, they have that's 6 months of just being able to communicate with us. I would have more of a problem if they said that they're not open to contract talks. That's when there's a problem, or that's where there's an issue. That's where it's concerning. If LFC said we're not interested in going into the negotiations or having this conversation at all, different story. Whether you're having it now or later, that's neither here nor there. But if VVD's people or whether Mo Salah's people are like, hey, we don't want to talk to you, we want to be out, the way that Mbappe did and said that he wanted to be out, then that would be a different story for me. But until that exists, then I'm cool with whatever happens because I'm not in the negotiation room with it.
No, but we had this conversation. We had this conversation a while ago. No, we had this conversation a while ago, and you agreed that it was criminal that we'd allowed Trent's contract to get to last year without it being sorted.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're saying here.
Absolutely.
That's what we're saying here is that it's criminal that he's got less than a year left, and we're in this situation. That's all anybody is saying here. Nobody is thinking, oh God, no, he has to sign him up by tomorrow. We all know, but it's not ideal. Like, you always want a guy with a minimum of 2 years. No, but you always want a guy with a minimum of 2 years left on his deal. No, like, we all agreed a couple of weeks ago, and everyone agreed that this is criminal, that Trent is in this scenario now. I've just said it's not the boys' fault. Allowed to come in, the new guys. But look, there's a reason all these boys only have 1 year left. Some of them will stay, and some of them will go. But one of them, like the main one that needs to get sorted out, is Trent, because you don't need speculation. It's all very simple stuff. It's if we're cool waiting till like the last minute.
I know, but also too, could you? I'm sorry.
No, but I'm just saying, just get these things tied up. This is what we used to be always good at. Was that there was none of this. He's leaving. He's going. They're always locked down. Whatever. Yeah. But I mean, you can't ignore the fact. No one's ignoring. No one's out there spinning the fact that Trent is cool with Trent. Just get that deal done. That's all I'm saying.
Two quick questions then, and I'll even gauge these questions to you and Revenite, since you guys are a little bit more in the other camp. And that is, could it be also that maybe, just maybe, that Trent doesn't want to talk about contracts right now? A lot of times that it could be that player
when does he
just doesn't want to have that doesn't want to have that done right at this moment.
But
Or maybe he doesn't, or maybe he just wants to, maybe he wants to allow for it to ride down to do what Mbappe did, or do what Mo did.
Oh well, yeah.
Assuming,
Well, if anyone has
Bobby
the balls to talk about that, if anyone has the balls to consider that, I wouldn't have considered bringing that up, because most people go, "Oh, no." Yeah, maybe he has decided he's going to walk. You have to be grown up about it. Maybe that's why he hasn't signed a new deal. Maybe he's going to do a Mbappe.
Yeah.
And that's what when you were saying that, what Brian was saying about earlier, that we're stupid to let it get to that point, because now that is a legit possibility, because we have no idea. It could be he could be thinking that, or like you said, he could be waiting to sign it, or or yeah,
exactly, Bernie. Exactly.
Well, that's what we're saying. We don't know, but there's no positive news coming out, like you said. Oftentimes they would come out and head off this bad news by saying, no, don't worry, there's talks going on and everything's cool. Just to let the fans know Trent isn't leaving. Trent knows he's a Scouser. Trent knows how important he is. Trent lives in the modern media age. He's going to know. So they know that even like a simple like of a tweet, someone saying he should join Madrid, all this kind of stuff. And the next thing you know, you have a transfer thing blowing up. We just need clarity, and as fans, just knowing that one of our best players, who's only 25, isn't leaving next year. Okay, if Mo goes in a year when he's 34 nearly, okay, we can deal with that. But we need clarity from Trent, because like Rev Knight says, you don't lose someone like him for nothing. You can't allow that to happen.
You would, ideally. You would.
If you've dropped the ball big time, if you let Finn go for nothing. So, I mean, the fans are. Can you imagine? Like, what the fans are like now. Can you imagine that announcement? I'm leaving next season. John
I would not be happy.
Oh my God!
But again, I can't emphasize this enough. Is that there's more than one party when it gets involved to re-signing players and the likes. I mean. There's two parties involved in that, and it doesn't help when possibly
but that's what we're saying. If he's
in that player's ear.
Yeah, if he's made up his mind to do what you said, do an Mbappe. If he wants to do that, what are we going to do? What can we do? Because we're now in this position where he can go one more year.
I don't know. Well, there's no mountains. There's no PowerPoint of mountains that we could show him. So I guess
we can import.
We would have to tell us some of the better.
They imported palm trees. You know better than they imported palm trees into Vegas in the desert. We can get some mountains and stick them up around Liverpool. I'm sure there's some land there. And Leo tells us we can ring them with get a few snowy peaks going on, and say to Trent,
there you go.
Give it all up.
Yeah. We can do our best.
Yeah,
we can only do our best.
Brian, what you were saying before about I think him signing these players up now, it's just like a speculation thing. No fan wants speculation looming over the season. It's like, if you can get it done now, get it done now. But like, nobody's gonna be mad if they sign. It's just if it drags on and it's like another talking point over the season, or these people are still not in contract, so they're gonna sign, and it's like another month and another month. It's just like
it's only for you though. The problem is Rev, it's only for you. I think, unfortunately, I know that like it makes it difficult for the fan, and I don't mean just you personally. I meant like the fan, the fan.
Yeah.
It's harder. I'll agree with that. It makes it harder for the fan because the fan wants to have some reassurance that they're one of the token players, or one of the role model players on the team or something like that is certainly signed and secured, certainly. But I mean, realistically, just what Bernie was saying too, we don't know what's going on. We don't know the atmosphere or the kind of demeanor that is going behind their optimism or pessimism of getting a deal signed. So I just say, like, there's
two sides.
Yes, but I would love. What I feel better as a fan.
There's
yes,
two sides to that coin.
I'm not.
No, there's two sides to that coin. We don't know we don't know what's going on. So all we're saying is like we're not. It sounds like we're being pessimistic. We're not being pessimistic. All we're saying is there's no information here.
Yeah, it sounds like you're
so it's like there's two. There's two sides to the coin. Like it's we don't know what's going on, so we don't know he wants to leave. But it's we don't know what's going on. So he might want to leave. Like that is a possibility. It is football.
That's how I see it.
He might want to stay. He might want to sign a new contract, and he might want to leave. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The issue is until we have clarification, you'll have all of this roundabout because nobody knows. So nobody can say, "Well, I know for a fact this." So you'll have. Well, I mean, the longer it goes. Like if this guy played for Man United and he was one of their best players, we'd all be sitting there going, he's not signing a deal, lads. He's going off. That's what we'd be saying. But he's one of our boys, so it's like, but this is not an ideal situation by anybody's. Like I said, we all agreed this shouldn't have happened. He should have been signed up a year ago. But like I said, we don't know. So we're speculating on things that we don't know. Exactly. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But until we do know what's happening, we're just going to be sitting here wondering, which is the worst place to be.
Yeah, I think it's important to weigh up all the options so that you're not shocked when the worst possible outcome happens. It's better to be
Like I think Trent signs. By the way, I think he stays. If you're asking me, does he stay or does he go to Real Madrid? I say he stays. But I'm just saying, until we know, you're going to get all of this crap going around. And it's very easy for someone to write a story in a newspaper, and that's what sells newspapers is Trent goes to Madrid. Until he signs, they'll do that stuff, and we'll have to fucking listen to it. Again, I think he signs. I think Ali signs, and I think he signs. The other two, I don't know. But I think Trent, it is more just like the lads are like, look, we've got a new management system. We've got a new manager. We've got Michael Edwards back. We've got Richard Hughes. We've got a shitload of stuff to get through. We'll sort this out. We'll do this, and we'll get it done. That's the way I'm looking at it. But it needs to be done properly because also he is going to ask for a lot of money. He's going to ask for a lot of money, so we have to be prepared for that. But I'm all for it. I think he signs. I think he stays. I think another probably a 5-year deal, and it'll be 2 fingers up to Real Madrid, Bellingham, and all that. But until we get it done. It's the easiest story in the world to write.
I would not have guessed that, by the way. Jeez. Leno played every minute of the Premier League season last year. Every minute for Fulham.
Wow.
He was in
Leno, yeah. He's a fancy football legend.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that.
If only Ali had that record, we might have done we might have won the title last year.
Yeah. Mason Mount just missed almost a sure goal.
Was it 0-0?
Red Devils are still 0-0, 55th minute, and definitely United are starting to put on the they're definitely putting on the burners on to try to get a goal here. They should have scored probably should have scored from that Mason Mount attempt, and they could have possibly scored on another attempt earlier, but it was two good saves by Leno. Two very good saves. Pick saves too. Yeah.
I reckon they'll nick it. Money's still up.
We pretty much have been for the last, like I'd say for the last 15, 20 minutes here, we've pretty much
we kind of done that. I think we might move on from that. Yeah, I think we might move on.
Yeah. Manu with a shot that just goes wide. They are definitely pressing for trying to get in this one. That's a good question. I don't know what Mason Mount's contract is. He signed a pretty decent contract with them, with the Red Devils.
Well, he must have got a good
but I'm pretty sure he's.
There's a sign for United.
He's an interesting player, man. Lee, he's an interesting player. Tell me what you think. But I mean, like I mean, he was Chelsea's Player of the Year at one point, you know, and then everyone soured on him, kind of, the fan base included, you know, and he was just, you know, and all of a sudden he was like, you know, disposable.
Done well under
Interesting
Tuchel.
character.
He looked good under Tuchel. Like,
would you?
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Mount.
He was really interesting character. I know that there was talks when we were in talks of possibly getting him. I remember that. Let me see.
Yeah, just give him when you ask him, just give him a few seconds because he's out. Yeah, there's just that delay there. Go ahead, Lee. Go ahead, Mason Mount.
Yeah. Please do.
Yeah, I think Mason Mount was a good player a couple of years ago. I'm sure he still is. Like, if it happens again for him. I was a fan of Mason Mount. Like, under Tuchel, he done well under Tuchel. Like, when Tuchel came in, he looked a better player. Like, Tuchel had an idea of how to use him and did use him. And he got the Champions League that year, didn't he? I thought that year when he won the Champions League, he was really good. He was a really great player that year. And I'd liked him beforehand. I'd liked him before that and thought, he's a good. But I'm glad it hasn't worked at United. You know, I couldn't be more pleased for him than to fail at United. He's done me a favour there, the poor lad. It's not all over at United for him, is it? He's still at United, couldn't he? Even if the team don't.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was just going to say that there was some questions on what how long Mason Mount is going to be, or possibly he has 4 years left on his deal. Mason Mount currently makes £250,000 a week. Again, I know that we're not necessarily trying to have the bloated salary wage budget as a Manchester United, but listen to this. On here, let me bring back Irishman. On here we have Harry Maguire makes £190,000 a week. De Ligt makes £195,000 a week, and he's on both of those guys are, and De Ligt's on a 5-year contract. Harry Maguire is on his last year of his contract, so this is the end. This is going to be interesting to see what they do with him. Anthony makes £200,000 a week. He's also on a 3-year contract. Mason Mount makes £250,000 a week. Jadon Sancho makes £250,000 a week. Marcus Rashford makes £300,000 a week. Bruno Fernandes, who just signed his new deal and has 3 years on his deal, makes £300,000 a week. Casemiro, who has still 2 years left on his deal, makes £350,000 a week. Look, I get what we're saying about LFC, but I don't think we're going to get into having 3 players in the $350,000 or £300,000 a week or and more range. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case, but I am saying that bringing a Salah and a BBD close, if not in that range, or Salah already in that range, but keeping Salah and keeping BBD in that range isn't really crazy concept. Really, really super crazy concept. When you look at
it's not crazy, but if you just take into account that Salah says no, this is the elephant in the room. No one's saying it's like, what if Salah doesn't want to sign a new deal? That's what I think the issue here is not. Yeah, but I don't. The issue here. I don't. The issue here is his wages. No, I'm not saying the issue is his wages. I just think the issue here is he said, "Yeah, we've gone over this a billion times."
I think it comes down to what Lee says. Look, I think if we have a team that competes for Champions League, if we have a team that competes for the title here, if we have a team that puts him on a pedestal that makes him a Ballon d'Or candidate, Mo Salah will stay. That's my opinion, at least. He will stay because he's not getting that somewhere else, most likely. And he's certainly not getting that by going to Saudi Arabia.
No, but
So
that's not why they go to Saudi. Yeah, no, they don't go to Saudi for that though. They go to Saudi when they've had their juice, and then they want to make their money. They've had their juice by winning the Champions League or winning whatever they do, and then they only go there for the money. So yeah, that's it. Like when they decide that they've decided that they want to go for the money, that's when they'll go. That's what I'm saying. We'll see in a year if he's still here, if he signs a new deal. We'll see with all of them. But I don't want him to wait until the end of the season and we've won the league and then go, oh, now I'll stay, because that won't happen. He'd have had to sign by January. So we'll know by then.
Yeah, 12th as well. Like, you say that.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, most likely. We'll know by then. Or maybe we'll know. Maybe we'll know before then. For those out there that have some of my optimism, maybe we'll know before then. Either way, I would not. I don't have this as being something that makes you, regret or regret looking at the papers or seeing the news updates. Don't worry about it. I think whatever it is, we'll get it done, and it'll be the right move for whatever reason. Whether it's their decision, LFC's decision, it'll be the right decision ultimately. So, it is still 0-0 in this Manchester United game. 63rd minute. Fulham just had a really good chance of scoring. Had a bicycle kick just get deflected wide over the net, or up over the net, I should say. So we definitely having that. Just a minute for work. Okay, I got you. Jimmy, big up, Jimmy. Jimmy's just joining us. How you doing, Jimmy? And big up to Robert too, and everyone that's joining us live on this. If you're joining us on the replay, hello to you as well. Hopefully you'll leave a comment, and I'll do my best to always answer every comment. I try to do more than just sometimes give like a thumbs up or a heart or whatever it is. But yeah, if I don't, I at least will give you that. But I certainly try to answer all the comments, so definitely leave the comments. We're going to be coming up towards the end of our show here. Big up to Reverend joining us to give us his version of giving his version of how he evaluates our roster. Big up to you, Rev Knight. If you can hear us still, can you?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. I know I have a little bit of a delay. I apologize for the delay.
No, it's all good, Don't worry. Thanks for letting me on.
Yeah, no, pleasure. Definitely a pleasure. It was very interesting to see some of your picks, for sure. But hey, to each is their own, as always, and to each is their own, as I should say. The Irishman is taking care of some business, I heard. So, Lee, is there anything you want to say to people before we allow for them to go to their Friday destinations?
No, thanks for being here, everyone, and let's hope Fulham score.
Go on, Fulham.
Okay, yeah, still 0-0, Let's hopefully they can hold on to this one, or maybe eke out a winner here.
Yeah, I start to see where we want to go on, like with United losing.
That'd be awesome. Reverend Knight, is there anything you want to say to people before we allow them to go on to their Friday destination?
Yeah, no, thanks everyone in the chat for getting involved, and it was a very interesting chat, and hopefully they sign the contract so we can get away a bit more from the pessimistic side.
Oh my God!
But yeah, big up to everybody.
But yeah, I apologize for that, Reverend Knight. 2-on-1 break for Fulham, and somehow, and it was against Maguire. Maguire was the one-man back, and I'm just like, oh, let's get this by Frankenstein here, Lurch, and he unfortunately got a leg to it. So, oh man, that would have been great. That would have been great to be ending the segment with
that would have been a great moment.
Goal. But yeah, let's definitely win this one, Pops. I'm right there with you. Let's win this one tomorrow for sure. Irishman, do you want to say anything to the people before we allow for them to go into their Friday destinations?
Oh, we're going, are we? Yeah, don't forget to get up early tomorrow if you don't live in, even if you do live in Ireland or whatever. Yeah, don't forget it's an early kickoff tomorrow. You don't
Yeah.
want to miss it. So hopefully we'll
Oh,
see.
trust me, that's the reason.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see lots of goals. But whatever, it starts tomorrow. So Jesus, right back into it.
It does.
Right back into it.
Right back into it. Oh wait, real quick,
Let the fun
Revenite.
begin.
Do you want to give us? Do you want to give your score? Do you want to give your score and or your score prediction for tomorrow? I don't know if you were. You got yours yesterday, so
We
you
did
want to
it
give a
earlier
score
on.
prediction? We all gave ours yesterday. Oh, did you? Okay,
Yeah.
just make.
Yeah, I'll say it again if you want. I had us scraping a 2-1 win. I
Okay.
think Brian said the same, but yeah.
2-1 win. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Any scores?
Got it in
Any
the
scores?
chronicles here. Darwin Nunez.
Could it be
Dr. D. Dr. D.
Yeah.
Let's go
Goodness.
Mo and Trent.
Oh, Mo and Trent. Wow. Okay.
Mo Trent, okay, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Mo, because the old, we were talking about it last night. Mo has the record now. He basically always scores on the opening
Yeah,
day, so
yeah.
it's a
Oh,
good
did you
bet.
get that?
It's a good bet.
Did you find that? Did you find that?
Oh,
Brian,
sorry,
by
I
the
think
way?
it's
I know we're on a
4.
delay,
I
but
think
did you
it's
find that?
4. Yeah, I think it's 4. I think it's 4. It's 4 consecutive opening.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 4. I couldn't find the article, but I think it's 4. Yeah, but I mean, to even be at a club
Okay.
4 years and to be like the odds of it all, like when you add it all together, like to be in the Premier League for that many years, to be fit for the opening day of the season, and then to also score a goal, like
Yeah.
that narrows the odds down so much. You're getting to like lottery winning type odds. It's crazy. Yeah, like he
Yeah.
has so many of those kind of little niche records we were talking about before. Like he has all the big ones, but he's got loads of those, like most goals scored consecutively, most goals scored away, and all
Right.
these kind of things. Like Mo has tons of those
Right. Right. Like most
records.
goals scored in the second half or something, or or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
crazy stuff.
It was
Yeah,
weird.
loads of stuff. Like
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, always a pleasure to have you guys on the Liverbird flying high. And yes, if you guys are in this part of the hemisphere, it's going to be an early one for us. But as Reds, we will certainly be up bright and early. Some of us even before the sun rises, like myself. So, like, hey, it is what it is. I'm just excited to see our Reds play tomorrow. I know a lot of us are too. So yeah, I'm looking for a good game. Looking to see you guys join us for the the match reaction or the match review show that we'll have the next day after. And yeah, other than that, I would always just like to say, hey, big up to each and every one of you. And last but not least, up the Reds, people, up the Reds. We'll see you soon, guys.